the Academy Award-winning film Suicide Squad. Academy Award-winning film Suicide Squad. Yes, I know it's for a technical award. It's for makeup and hairstyling. It has nothing to do with the plot, characters, editing, cinematography, none of that. It's just a purely technical achievement. But still, there is no way to get around that phrase, which is now 100% true, that Suicide Squad is an Academy Award-winning film. And what makes it worse is that in my predictions video, I specifically outed it as like even being a possibility, just because, well, in my opinion, it's not that great, especially compared to Star Trek Beyond. Yeah, that's not the only thing I got wrong. So, let's see. Last year, I did my predictions and I did my videos. The very first time predicting everything, so of course, you know, I'm not gonna get that many right. I got 10 things right on the nose. So, how many did I get right this year? 10. Exactly 10. Like last time. Well, and this time I put in a lot more research too, so yeah. When I was watching the ceremony, there was a guy with me who had seen none of the movies. He'd seen like 1 or 2 of them, and he also got exactly 10. So I don't know. I don't know. Including, like, writing down that Kubo and the Two Strings would win Best Animated Feature, which should be obvious by now was never going to happen, but I don't know. Maybe it was just for hope. But anyway, moving on to the show itself before I get into the specifics of what went wrong. Oh, what went wrong with my predictions, not what went wrong with the show. So, let's just get this out of the way. Jimmy Kimmel? I was not expecting to be that good. He was a very good host. Might be controversial, but I think even better than Chris Rock was last year. And Chris Rock was great. I really liked the segments last year when he went outside and he was asking, like, like random people on the streets, like, have you heard of this movie that's been nominated for Best Picture? And like most of them hadn't and stuff. And you know, it was great. That was fun. But you know, then there was other things like the Girl Scout cookies thing. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. But you know, it was a good show. It was a good show last year. But like this year, it just felt really, really smooth. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not that big a fan of Jimmy Kimmel, but like somehow, I don't know if it was just like the little feud he established with Matt Damon, which was for the most part really, really good. I don't know if it was just like how smoothly he was able to talk to people, how I was able to like lead people and stuff. He made everyone feel really comfortable. Like it was really amazing. I really liked it. Probably of the Oscar ceremonies I've seen 3, so don't blame me too much. But like he seems to be the best out of those, and that's cool. That's really cool. I like that. And they did kind of have an equivalent of the Girl Scout cookies thing with the vines and whatever falling from the sky and stuff, but I don't know, didn't have as big an emphasis. Besides, they didn't eat them at the end. Oh boy. But, anyway. So moving on to the actual show itself. For the most part, it seemed really solid. Of course, one thing everybody was expecting, and I do mean everybody, it was inevitable, Trump bashing. This is, it happened at the Golden Globes, and it's gonna happen here. The same people are involved, so you know it's gonna happen. However, this time, I don't think it was bad. In fact, it seemed kind of funny, because this time, they seemed to rely mostly on actual jokes, instead of just, like, heavy negativity towards negativity. And I'm not gonna reveal my political beliefs, but, yeah, you know, I just think the thing should be mostly about movies. I understand that there is a lot of people in there with a lot of political beliefs, specifically in one direction, so it's gonna happen. But I appreciate that they formatted it in terms of jokes instead of just anger. And that's all I have to say on that part, and I think they did a reasonably good job of that. And now, of course, we gotta move on to the really devastating part at the end. Like, this is the part that made headlines. This is the part that had everybody go, "What?" and just freak the hell out. And, like, some people were angry, some people were ecstatic, and, you know, I have to say I kind of had to avert my eyes for a bit. It was Leonardo DiCaprio coming up as last year's Best Actor winner and presenting an award. You know, I'm sure he's a nice guy in real life. I'm sure we'd get along. You know, I'm sure we'd be friends. But just seeing that guy doing the job that Michael Fassbender or Bryan Cranston or, like, two other fantastic actors should have been doing, like, all because he rolled around in the dirt and was cold and ate liver. I don't know. I at this point I think I'm at the level of irrationally resentful towards Leonardo. Oh yeah, and somebody mixed up the cards coming out or something, I don't know. But it did bring up my score a little. I mean, like, I had originally slammed my pen on the table when they said La La Land had won Best Picture. And I was like, ah, man. I said, wait, it was a mistake. Moonlight actually won. And I said, well, at first I was extremely confused. But then a little bit later I was like, wait, so my score just went up. Hooray! I got the top 4 right. Like, last year I didn't get the top 4. Like, I got Best Picture, Director, Actor, and Actress this year completely right. So, there you go. I guess rely on me for the big stuff from now on. Don't rely on me for anything. I'm not mystical. I don't know the future. So yeah, people are comparing it to, like, Steve Harvey's mistake and all that. I think Steve Harvey might have been a little worse, though. Just because there were 2 people standing on the stage there, and like the person he accidentally picked was being adorned with the flowers and the crown and stuff, and it's a really emotional moment, and then just take it away. And you know, there's an extent to that here, like with the La La Land guys coming up and having the similar emotional moment and all that, but like, at the very least, it was because the card was actually wrong, that somebody messed it up somehow, and it wasn't just, like, like the presenter reading the runner-up, you know. So it's a little better than that. But, you know, still, pretty big fuck-up. It's probably going to be remembered for a few years. So yeah, now let me just go down the list a little bit to point out all the ones that I messed up and probably why that happened. For actor in a supporting role, I guess I misinterpreted the power of Mahershala Ali. I actually pronounced his name right this time, I'm pretty sure. I guess the problem I got, and I got this advice from some other folks at the place, was they like to, for the supporting roles, they like to pick people who haven't been there before. For actor and actress, they seem to pick veterans most of the time, but for supportings, they tend to go more for people who haven't been there before, and that's why I was right on the money with Viola Davis. For costume design, Fantastic Beasts, it's not that bad a choice. I wasn't expecting it just because it's an extremely mainstream film, but you know, I don't know, maybe just a bunch of people were assuming, yeah, La La Land will totally win this. Maybe I'll just vote for something else, and Fantastic Beasts won, and you know, it's not something to get too up in arms about. Documentary feature, that one actually went to the one that I wanted to win instead of the one I thought would win, OJ Made in America, which is great. Yay. I'm glad it didn't go to the Amy equivalent that I picked. Like, this movie is actually about something and it was really well made, and they totally deserved it. The White Helmets actually won for documentary short subject, although I picked Watani My Homeland, which is about some people in Syria, and White Helmets is also set in Syria, although with a completely different story, so I'm not that far off. Film editing went to Hacksaw Ridge. I was surprised that La La Land didn't get as many, like, votes as I thought it would. I guess, like, editing isn't a bad thing to hand over to Hacksaw Ridge. It's just, like, a little strange that, yeah, you know, it wasn't as big a sweep as I thought it was, and I suppose I should have thought about that a little more, that it wouldn't be that big. I don't know. The movie is, like, basically fellatio to Hollywood, so I figured it would get almost everything. The one animated short film I didn't want to win, Piper. It won. Of course it did. You know, I actually had hope because last year a Disney short didn't win Best Picture. That was Sanjay's Super Team. I'm starting to wonder if that was for race reasons, because Piper, compared to these other ones, is not as good. It's really well animated, I'll give you that. It looks nice. It really captures, like, how these birds kind of walk and stuff, but in terms of content, hell, even Blind Vaisha, which loves itself more than I ever could, all of them are much better films. Sing for short film, not a bad choice, not a bad choice at all. I don't think there's a single one on there I would have actually been upset with winning. And as I said with Sing, there is that amazing, like, continuous shot that happens, and it's gorgeous. So you know, not a bad one to win. For the next two, I don't know if it's fate or not, but for sound editing and sound mixing, I predicted La La Land would win. Thank God it didn't. I mean, I know it hurts my score as, like, as a predictor, but in terms of, like, quality, I think the better ones definitely got it. So for sound editing, I wanted Arrival to win. If you recall the predictions video, I would have preferred Arrival to win, and it won. For sound mixing, I would have preferred Hacksaw Ridge to win, and it won. Christ. I guess this year, just, like, my whim dictated it or something. I don't know. I think definitely what would have helped, I calculated this, I would, if I had, on some of them, just gone with what I wanted to win, instead of just my cynical self, it would have improved my score to, like, 15, I think. So I guess I gotta learn to do that. Visual effects to The Jungle Book. Well, it's not that bad to go to. I mean, they did integrate all those talking animals and stuff, and it looked real nice. And they didn't. Could be worse. They didn't nominate that kid or Simon Helberg, but he wasn't in that movie. But still, he's a terrible actor. So yeah, it's not a bad choice. I'm glad it didn't go to Deepwater Horizon, at least. Like, there was nothing noteworthy about that movie. For writing adapted screenplay, I should say, I misjudged The Power of Moonlight. I really, really thought that Fences would get it, but you know what? In terms of actual, like, adaptation for screen, like, Moonlight, probably out of those, is a better pick. Except for maybe Arrival. I've never read the books of any of these, by the way, so forgive me if they get a lot wrong. But like, I think Fences would honestly be the weakest in terms of that. I mean, like, it is good dialogue and stuff, but I mean, in terms of adapting something for the screen, I know, at least I'm pretty sure, it was adapted by the same guy who wrote the play many, many years ago, like decades ago. Like, before he died. So, and Denzel Washington, of course, did not want anybody to touch the script for it. Also, did I mention, like, Denzel Washington during the show, Jesus, he looked pissed. I'm not even talking about, like, when he lost for Best Actor and, like, he was, like, giving the evil eye to Casey Affleck. I mean, like, during most of the show, when he's, like, getting introduced to people, like, when those people from off the street were brought in to meet all the celebrities and stuff, like, when people are just, like, talking to him and stuff, like, he looked really angry. I don't know. Wonder if something happened to him. I'm worried. But yeah, it's good. It's a good choice. It's a good choice. I'm glad it won. Would have preferred Arrival a little, but you know, once again, I misjudged The Power of Moonlight. And finally, for writing original screenplay, Manchester by the Sea, which is what I wanted to win, actually won. The people at my table were rooting for The Lobster, I was quietly resenting them for that. So, and I'm glad it did not win, because that is an extremely pretentious pile of crap. At least it's only for the script, though. Just, like, they didn't nominate for direction. But anyway, Manchester by the Sea, the better choice won. So yay! That's what I wanted all along, and it got it. Did Hell or High Water actually win anything? Yeah, Hell or High Water. It didn't win a single damn thing. I thought it was more popular than that. I don't know. What went wrong? Who can say? So yeah, just gotta wrap the thing up. I really enjoyed the ceremony this time. I liked it more than a few movies on this list, actually. And I'm glad, even though I did not improve upon my score at all from last year, still around 41% success rate, I am glad at the very least that I got the top 4, which is what everybody tries to predict, including betting Moonlight, which wasn't the front runner, by the way. So I hope next year is gonna be just as good as this one in terms of the ceremony. I hope that there are plenty more movies to put on this, because, like, there's like 2 movies on this whole damn thing that I was actually like, yeah, love those movies. Whereas last year there was a few, you know. So I'm hoping next year there is a bit more of a selection to choose from. Another Mad Max Fury Road. Not necessarily a sequel, just like something big and awesome and that everybody loves, you know. I want that. So, yeah, I can't wait to see I can't wait to do a dire situation on most of these at the very, very end of the year. And can't wait to catch up by watching another 30 movies, in which I have to travel to different states and different parts of my city in order to desperately try to watch every single one before an allotted time. Yeah. I'll see you guys later. And just remember, Suicide Squad is an Academy Award-winning film, and Leonardo DiCaprio is an Academy Award-winning actor. At least Andrew Garfield didn't get it.